Hi, this is Aaron with Ace Rescue. Another tech tip today having to do with heat today, which seems appropriate since it's 100 degrees outside. This laptop came in with a couple of issues. The biggest one is already diagnosed as a bad motherboard. So as I touch some of the components inside, know that that's going to be okay for this video. Normally you wouldn't want to touch any components inside of a laptop, especially one that has potential power or heat issue. You might end up with an injury, some kind of minor electrocution or a fire in the worst case scenario. This one though came in, and one of the things the customer told me was when it was working well, this middle section of the board was very hot, would be very hot in use, whereas the sections that should be hot, the external vents where the hot air should come out here and here, didn't have a whole lot of airflow that she noticed, and when she'd feel them, they didn't feel very warm. You can look at the computer, and from the outside, it looks pretty clean. If we look through these different shrouds, not really seeing a whole lot of dust buildup. In fact, you wouldn't really notice anything about this computer. But when we open it up, this is the kind of problem we'd want to take a look at and diagnose, because it's really apparent that we've got some major buildup of dust, what looks like potentially animal hair, some blanket residue, which happens as you use laptops on your lap or in bed. And what this causes is all kinds of buildup in these fans. You can see this is just one side. Oh goodness. I don't think we got it all, but you can kind of see most of it there. What it causes is that this buildup on these fans, so that when the fan takes air in through the bottom of the shroud and tries to push past these cooling fins attached to these heat pipes, it can't get past it. It just gets stuck up against this dust, up against the hair and the different things in here. And when that happens, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. These cooling pipes don't work like they're supposed to. What these pipes are supposed to do is take heat from the components. Underneath here, a CPU and a GPU, graphics card and a processor. And it takes heat from these components through a process which is pretty well documented on YouTube, but involves a wick inside of these heat pipes, takes heat and moves it to another section of the board, or another section of the heat pipe where it's cooler. There has to be some kind of temperature disparity in order for the heat to move from one end of the pipe to the other. So, if the fan is spinning, it can be spinning as fast as it can. If it can't blow any air past those pipes, there ends up being no heat disparity. So the heat here on this pipe and here are the same temperature. When that happens, no heat is transferred off the component. In a laptop, what that'll cause, I'll zoom back out here, what that'll cause is, oh, and then I touch the tripod, there we go, is components that get too hot. And components that get too hot in a laptop can result in board failure. That might have been one of the causes here. It can result in component failure, so a CPU that might go bad, a graphics processing that might go bad, and it will certainly result in poor performance. Modern laptops, modern computers in general, have a way of keeping themselves safe by downclocking, by slowing down the processing that's happening inside the core components in order to make sure that the heat generated isn't too much and doesn't overwhelm the system. Other parts of the computer do that as well. This is a solid state drive. Many times they'll have some kind of a heat spreader. In this case, it's a heat spreading material with a piece of aluminum and copper. You can see that. It's a little bit hard to see, but that would actually sit right on top of that solid state drive when it's in use. Right on top of there. Sometimes the RAM sticks will do the same thing. These ones don't, but sometimes there'll be a heat spreader of some sort on the RAM that will cause the heat to go away there. And often the batteries will get a little bit hot too, and you'll end up with, kind of like as on here, a metallic surface that kind of helps to get that heat away. If you're noticing heat on your laptop in a way that's not supposed to be happening, or if you notice no heat or less heat where it's supposed to be, so on the external vents where the hot air is supposed to be coming out, bring it in. We'll take a look at it for you. Generally speaking, you don't want to crack this open and look inside yourself. As you start touching things, you can easily kill a board, you can kill a solid state drive, you can kill RAM, you can kill a board or result in some kind of a short circuit, especially if you've got a battery that might be the problem. That will actually cause some additional risk and might cause some injury. Bring it in, we'll take a look for you. Oftentimes you're not looking at any kind of replacement, you're looking at just cleaning. We can get it cleaned, get it back out, and working for you. In this case, this one happens to be done in a different way, but it was a really good example of something you can't see from the outside, but a symptom that you should pay attention to. As always, let us know if you have any questions. You can comment on the video, or you can leave a comment or post on our Facebook channel or by email. And we're happy to help you out, and look forward to seeing and helping you work your technology in a way that makes you more efficient and makes your life more enjoyable and reduces your frustration. Thanks.